Fundamentals, phase 2, day 22. I didn't go to the gym, but I went down to the garage and I jacked every single weight that I had non-stop, just really to see what's going down. I deadlifted my puny weights, all strapped up to make sure I'm not going to aggravate my back in any way. Feels absolutely perfect. Set up a rack pull, bench pull rather, that a friend of mine always, he's a former rower at school, and he used to love it at the gym. We used to go to my university gym and smash that thing. He was really, really strong. He had a really strong back from rowing and all that, and football, rugby rather, and all that sort of stuff. So I'm using that in addition to face pulls. Face pulls where you're using the ropes at the gym that people do tricep pull downs or push downs with, and you set it up high and pull those ropes past your face. It's good for keeping your scapula tight and attempting to undo the damage of sort of shoulder rotation problems that you get from sitting at the desk as a desk jockey. I was doing a lot of bench pulls to supplement my face pulls. I was doing shoulder dislocations. So if you've got a piece of PVC piping or whatever and you take it, you won't be able to see shit. Sorry. And you go behind your head, down to the bottom, up, and do that 15 or 20 times when you're warming up to do anything with your shoulders like bench press. My shoulder flexibility is terrible. It always has been. It doesn't matter for anything that I do, but it's just something you got to warm up, else you're going to have problems with. The aim of the game is to try and get it 1.5 times your shoulder width to go back. So obviously I'm far from there, but over a few months when you're doing it, you do get to that stage, but you don't want to force it. Shoulder dislocations are exactly that. You can do a lot of damage if you try and force it, but shoulder mobility is a really good thing to warm up and exercise. It's something that a lot of people have problems with. My partner has rotator cuff issues. She can't do press-ups and stuff like that. It came from swimming. Rugby players get it. So many people have shoulder issues. I don't. Well, I do. Both my shoulders are buggered, but they still work. Like the joint's still fine. The AC ligament separated on this side. This one has a dead nerve on the back of the deltoid, so I don't really have the range of motion from this one because there's no muscle to pull it back. But the body's awesome. Another muscle in my thoracic area compensates for it. Looks a little bit weird having a dead spot there, but I'm a bodybuilder or a physique competition dudes. I'm trying to do this stuff for functional. I want to be able to use it for different stuff and not functional training like CrossFitters who are going to destroy themselves and think they aren't. It's hilarious. I always think those dudes are hilarious. They get so hostile when you say, oh, is it a really good idea to do, millions of reps of everything all the time? It's fine if you warm up and I take precautions and blah, blah, blah. Sure you do. Those dudes take heaps of drugs as well. I was reading on the forums the other day, some Aussie CrossFitter got done. They're all roiding, chicks and mates and males, all on roids, peptides, all these pre-workout supplements that have stuff like the stuff that John Jones, the UFC fighter, got done for Turinabol or Turin, Italy, something like that. They're all on it. Anyway, I digress. I hate CrossFitters. I know some nice CrossFitters. There's always exceptions to the rule, but I just think it's a dumb sport. Why would you thrash yourself? Unless you're getting paid for it. Some of those dudes might be getting contracts and be getting a lot of money for it, and if that's their career, then hey, go for it. It's no different than triathletes or Ironmen that are going to kill themselves from tachycardia or whatever it is, high heart rates and heart failures and stuff. Endurance athletes can often fail from that stuff. We're dialing it back a notch these days, and all we're trying to do is not die. So it's a lot easier goal to try and get to but surprisingly hard for pretty much everyone I know. Everyone I know that just doesn't do any exercise, sits around, wonders why they're getting fat, drink way too much alcohol. And this is coming from somebody who has done that for the last 5 years and still obviously not half as much as a lot of people that I know. Get off your asses, walk around, get on your bike. Just move. It's not hard. It's the only thing. It's the only reason I'm not dead now is because I get off my ass and move around and just like put my headphones on and go for a walk. You know, I like that stuff. I've always liked that stuff. And it's always people think, oh, I've got some hack to it or there's something, you know. We just grew up walking to school and riding to school and, you know, didn't get a lift. We would rather, you know, sorry mum and dad, but we'd rather not hang out with our parents. We'd rather just walk and get somewhere ourselves. That's something that people really need to dial back into their life. It's something I don't see in Australia so much. It may come from our primary industry culture where a lot of people perhaps, you know, used to travel between farm and farm like some of my cousins and uncles and stuff who live rurally. It's just not the case here. Where I am currently, it's a little bit better than Sydney, so that's cool. But there's still a lot of obviously statistically overweight people, a lot of fat kids and stuff. It's child abuse. Get out, run around, get a skipping rope, walk. Australia, we've got the best weather. It's sunny in Melbourne today. It's ridiculous. It's perfect walking weather. Chuck on a scarf, obviously, and a jumper and a windbreaker like I have, but just, you know, do stuff, walk around. If you got to go to the supermarket, go walk to the supermarket, get bags. A mate of mine has one of those things that you drag with wheels for the supermarket. He walks, you know what I mean? He's skinny. But not that that's a goal. Obviously, you want a bit of muscle and stuff as well, which he does as well because he's, you know, pumps the pushy and stuff to work. Like there's no better use of your time. Any of my friends who end up watching this, even if it's one or two of you, I don't care to begin with. I know anyone that's watching this and takes this shit seriously is going to get results. I'm getting jacked at the moment, and this is like I think it's end of a month at the end of this month, so I'll take some photos with drop shadow and stuff like that and show the definition that I've got from just casually going to the gym every day, albeit maybe the exception of 1 or 2 days that I don't go. But I go, I'm doing my group exercise every day, just when I'm sitting in front of the computer and not, you know, pretty casually, just sort of pumping away at it. But my spring tension has gone from like there to the very end one. I haven't put the second spring on yet because I don't really want to crucify my hands and do any tendon damage, but, you know, obviously my grip strength's going through the roof. Those sauerkraut lids are coming off very easy, but the gym routine itself is very simple. I might even get some uni student with a decent camera to come and film a gym session that I do in like 30 or 40 minutes, and that's all I do every day. I hate the gym, so I'm not going to waste my time there. I just listen to an audiobook, listen to some tunes or a podcast, and I'm out. But it's very simple movements, something like the machines always say exactly what you have to do, but it's not always so straightforward because you've really got to conceptualize the muscles in you and the contraction and extension of those muscles. And once you get that, instead of just trying to muscle it down in some weird way without coordination, you'll get these results. People stay way too long at the gym. They warm up way too long at the gym. You can thoroughly warm yourself up in 2 or 3 minutes, sport specifically, or you can just go on a treadmill and a bike. If you can't be warmed up with your heart rate over 150 BPM in 2 to 3 minutes, there's something seriously wrong with you, and you've really got to see a doctor because it's something that you've really got to either, if you can't push the pedals on a stationary bike, run on a treadmill, do one of those stupid elliptical things that I think are useless, but some people think that they're useful. I don't know anyone. I don't know a single friend of mine that can't do this. I don't know a single friend of mine that's, oh no, that's not true. A few of you watch this stuff. But I think in time they will, because they're going to see the difference. They're going to see me transforming back to how I was in my 20s and my late 30s and be like, oh wow, I should really be doing this. And yeah, you should really be doing this. But if there's any questions or anybody really wants to have a crack and unlock the fountain of youth, go for it. If you just want to wilt away and die, which you will, as we know, keep doing what you're doing. Sorry for the negative tone, because I feel positive, but it's just disappointing for me to see that people do not prioritize this stuff at all. Even when I'm a drunk, I still go to the gym, I still walk around, I still ride my bike. It's a thing that keeps me alive. Diets are memes, all these exercise programs are memes. Like, food is important, sure, it's very important in fact, but exercise lets you get away with murder. And if you do it, you can more or less do what you want. If you don't do it, and your diet sucks as well, you're screwed. You're absolutely ruined. Everyone gets up, everyone showers, everyone goes to work, everyone does all this stuff without question, without batting an eyelid. This is important, but the most important thing, I think, by far, pumping the sludge through your system of filters, which is your body, is something that people just seem to neglect and seem to think is not important, because they haven't seen what it's like to be fit. Once you see what it's like to be fit and how you feel as a result, then you'll never compromise on that ever. But you'll have to do it to find that out. If not, just pound on the keg, sit in front of the TV, play video games. Sounds like a shit life to me. Anyway, 12 minutes, holy crap. Have a good day.